I felt like if I didn't speak up, this is my time, you know?
Just before sunset on Thursday, photographer Andrew Hara traveled up to the mid-level elevations of Mauna Kea.
13,796-foot mountain that can get up to 100-mile-an-hour winds and, you know, ice storms, which I've been caught in as well. But that's the part where you have to be educated to be able to traverse this.
Preparing for nightfall at 9,000 feet, Hara will soon set out to capture the night sky on the mountain, considered one of the best places on Earth to stargaze.
Yeah, there are only a few spots in the entire world where you can almost have a complete 270-degree view of your situated living area. It's pretty cool. It's amazing. For me, this is my way of being able to decompress, de-stress, you know. I didn't want to milk my reasons for personal reasons for interest in Mauna Kea, but I mean, when my dad died, this is where I came. You know, this is my sanctuary, and it's been like that ever since.
Hara is a professional, having worked with NASA, National Geographic, and Time magazine.
With hypoxia at 9,000 feet to 13,000 feet, I mean, you go from, you know, sea level with 100% oxygen and you go to 40% less oxygen, you start talking like an infant. I mean, I remember one time I was trying to open a bottle of water upside down and I poured it on my pants because I was totally hypoxic. It's a difficult environment. I mean, and most of the time I hike here alone in a complete dark and I'm using a GPS or I'm at the summit, and, you know, you have to be super critical about, you know, photographic process, and it's tough. I mean, you have to really focus. So it actually is good training because under duress, you can do a lot. Well, bag of tricks is not that much of a trick. Just an array of lenses, flash. I have like 3 different sources of illumination. Currently charging my iPhone because it's almost dead. But yeah, I have, depending on where I go, I always have walkie-talkies just in case, especially high altitude, you can't run that far. I got my flashes and, you know, rain bag, submersible cover here. And yeah, it's just 1 camera, 3 lenses, and that's about it. I forgot the bottle of tequila, but we'll make do when we come down to the mountain.
His imagery has been an inspiration for himself and to countless others.
This is pretty much what I do for fun. I mean, I live, breathe photography. Some people surf, some people play mahjong, checkers. I shoot photos. Pretty much 18 hours a day. I'm either working on photos or my company, which does visual media, or I'm editing photos, or I'm planning a trip to go and take some more photos. And so, you know, for me, this is a very large ordeal to be able to come up here. And not being able to do that would be very, very disappointing.
This could be Hara's last chance to photograph the stars from this vantage point in many months.
God, if we don't get access like this anymore, it's going to be a sad day.
Today, the State Board of Land and Natural Resources may decide to limit the public's ability to visit the mountain at night.
If we look at, or we use analogies like, okay, say Half Dome. If Yosemite and Half Dome, they close down, and say the only career you have is climbing, and you live in California, that would greatly affect you. Like, massively affect you. And so in that same way, I mean, this mountain is a spiritual place, absolutely. But it's also a place where we all get to interpersonally connect with our own philosophies of life to what it is.
Under the proposed new rules, no person shall enter or remain in the restricted area during the hours of 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. unless it's to drive through in a motor vehicle on the Mauna Kea Observatory Access Road. Also, no person shall at any time bring into the restricted area a backpack, tents, blankets, or other obvious camping paraphernalia. The rules were created with the intention of dispersing the encampment of the self-proclaimed protectors of the mountain. They have been keeping a vigil here at Halepohaku for over 100 days, blocking construction crews working for the planned 30-meter telescope and preventing them from reaching the summit area of the mountain. Using emergency rulemaking authority, procedures are being enacted, quote, to protect against imminent peril to public safety and natural resources, end quote, according to the state. The restriction will apply to all lands in the Mauna Kea Forest Reserve that lie within 1 mile of the access road. The new rules will apply to everyone and will effectively put an end to photographing the starlit skies while on the mountain. And anyone seen carrying backpacks or any camping-related materials while on the mountain will be subject to fines. The Land Board will vote today. If passed, the law will be in effect for 120 days. That means this could be Andrew Hara's last night on Mauna Kea for many months.
We've lost sight about what it means to live aloha, and that while we have personal agendas here, and we have the right to, I don't think it was necessary to get to the point where we are in hatred and conflict, and the resolution could have been expressive of ho'oponopono, make things right with politeness, respect for your neighbor, for your family, and the result of how things have unfolded is apparent by what will happen tomorrow with our bill. And if we are restricted access, that is a direct result and collateral damage from all of the discussions that we've had to date. And if it's such that we are unable to now come up here at night, it's very disappointing. They're in a tough spot. They have to be democratic. They have to care about our host culture here, as well as every other culture here. And our mixing pot of culture, along with the integrity that we have of our aloha spirit, makes it difficult to make decisions. If we had no aloha spirit, that would be so easy. Just close down the mountain. But they do care, as well as the our Hawaiian community here. They do also care, and they've shown great respect on both sides. But the result of the conflict, whatever it may be, I hope comes to resolution soon, and that closing the access to the mountain is not part of that resolution.
Hara recently joined a Facebook group called the Mauna Kea Photo Guild, created with the intent to support open access to Mauna Kea.
And I felt inclined that I should be a part of it. I kind of stick to my own, so.
Photographer Bridger Jensen organized the group, which stays out of the politics. They take no position on TMT or TMT opponents.
Think of it if you surfed, for example, and you have 3 good surf locations on the island, and then one gets closed, and then you only have 2. That's a big deal. And the majority, this is my favorite surfing spot, and for that matter, I thought about it, and it's pretty sad. I would have to go to Haleakala. I would have to go to other islands or go elsewhere, go to Chile, to another dark sky. And that's the fact of the matter is this sky here, this mountain here is so unique for all of its reasons, cultural, geologic, biological, astronomical, that how can we not celebrate it? It would be ridiculous to not, and to restrict access to all of the amazing things that this mountain stands for and how we are driven to protect it doesn't make sense. Why we would just be removed from it.
And photographers aren't the only visitors to the mountain upset by the new rules. The Mauna Kea Visitors Center was once a thriving place at night, a location for astronomy enthusiasts to gather to enjoy the night sky. Now, the future of all of that remains in doubt.